Cap.
We got our ass kicked.
Yeah,
That
bad
we
shit
did.
happened.
It
Red
did
Eye.
not
Well,
go
one
well.
good thing happened. Red Eye Quinn is dead.
Yep.
So it's 1 down, 2 to go.
So
Um,
yeah, we go ahead.
Fair. Oh no, go ahead, Kyle.
Yeah, so we had our confrontation with Nefertes, who is possessing Nyx, and she gave King and the group an ultimatum. Hey, King, become my consort and rule in this whole possessed undead Mulholland kind of pharaoh thing. And King and the group said no, and then she proceeded to hold prison King for the entire combat and then systematically almost kill everyone else. And King relented and said, okay, go ahead, just let them go. And they all went except for Laz, who hid around behind. King tried to pull something by cornering Luxor to try and get the amulet. It didn't go well because he had a bunch of counter spells ready to go, which is bullshit. But it all, kind of worked out because it got turned into some sand by Nefertes. And, Laz was, kind of there waiting in the shadows, ready to, help out. But King touched that amulet, which caused a shadowy specter, baby king something, the voice of the God King to appear. Got real not good for a bit there, and then Nefertes let us both go. And yeah, so that whole situation is unresolved as of now, except for the fact that King is even more wary of what's going on with his claw because it has the same kind of gems as that amulet.
Okay. Yeah, and yeah, you and Laz ducked out of there real quick. Let me take a look here. Okay, yeah, that's fine. And yeah, okay, so we are actually going to cut to well, first off, I think you guys said you were planning on going back to the bar. Is that correct?
I think so.
Yeah, I believe so.
Okay.
Yeah, I think so.
And
But the only safe
yeah,
place for us.
Laz, that's where you guys are going to head off to as well.
yeah.
All right.
Laz is going to do his Lazzy best to try to be moral support for King. Laz being who Laz is, that's not going to go well, I suspect, but he's going to try.
Mm-hmm. Sorry, King's Palace. Your theme is not appropriate.
Not appropriate right now. God, what time is it even?
It is probably about let's go with 1 o'clock in the morning.
Okay. Will we still be open and active at this point, or would we be closed by now?
You guys would probably be closing right about now.
Okay.
We close at 1? Man, we're a lame bar.
It's a bar.
It's a weekday, so
It's Wednesday, bro.
We're a lame bar.
Tequila Mockingbird's open for a full 2 more hours, man.
We could just say we closed it.
Actually, yeah,
should we still be
actually
open?
that probably. I'm sorry, what?
I was just like, yeah, should we still be open at this point? I mean,
if you guys say you want to, if you guys think that you would still be open, then you could still be open.
I think we'd be open to at least 2.
Okay, sure.
2 a.m. is a strong bar time.
Okay.
We got alcohol.
But yeah,
We got regulars or alcoholics. We can't send them home at 1.
We gotta give him more alcohol.
gotcha. Yeah. So as you guys return back to your pad, you do notice across the street that business is bopping over at the King's Palace.
Oh, King's Palace. Okay, that's good.
I'm sorry, not King's Palace. Tequila Mockingbird.
damn it.
God
What
damn
the
it.
hell?
What the heck is this?
Yo, we got any magic that makes really loud noises that we can just throw over there?
I could just shoot my gun in the air.
You know, I could get my smoke bottle and go to the side and just blow it up.
Like half of us are like bleeding profusely.
Yeah, Iso just walks behind the bar and like pours himself a drink.
Yeah, some of you are bleeding profusely. Anyone who got hit by Nefertes is incredibly thirsty. As in, like, you want water.
Oh, I thought
Well,
it
I
was
mean,
gonna be
maybe other definitions. I don't know.
I was about to say, there's
I am thirsty for
down bad.
Nefertes.
there's plenty of water and beer.
Water. Water.
Yo, what if we made this place like half of a brothel, you know? Like half brothel, half bar?
I don't know.
We don't have the extra rooms for that activity.
That too.
You gonna let strangers fuck in your room?
They're
They're not fucking in mine.
Yeah, that's a lot of money, maybe. If I'm one of those strangers, then yes.
To be fair, Oz's room is the alley.
That's a good point. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, am I still living in the alley right now?
Yeah.
Probably.
Your mom's still living upstairs.
Fuck me. Yeah. Well.
In fact, like the second you walk through the front door, you hear
God
ah!
damn it. I leave.
Oh, actually, I got somewhere to be.
You take a step in, she's there at the bar.
Step
I just
out.
You
turn
immediately
around.
turn back and run and get out.
Have you seen that meme with the little mouse from Cat Dog? You know what I'm talking about?
Oh yeah.
Yeah. I do that.
I see. Yeah. But yeah, you guys return back to the old King's Palace. Looking worse for wear. The children would have gone to bed. They are tuckered out for the night. That's right. They stay in King's room right now, I think.
Oh yeah, that's true.
I got like the whole jug of water and I'm just chugging it.
Mm-hmm.
More water.
Jim requires his beauty sleep. He is very tired. We'll just bid you all good night. But yeah, Caprica probably cleaning the glasses. It is fairly busy. But yeah, she waves you guys down. Yeah. Are you going to? Did you want to like just retire for the evening, or is there something anybody wants to get accomplished before you take a long rest?
I'm gonna shower to get all this sand out of my hair. Fucking sand.
Gotcha.
I think I'm gonna pour myself like 3 pints. I'm gonna like hold them in a sink, one hand with like my hand like through all the handles of all 3, and then just carry them upstairs.
Okay.
I should probably talk to Caprica about where Nyx is.
Oh God,
Yeah, that's. Oh God is right.
Iso's definitely going upstairs.
I was gonna be in the alleyway.
Okay.
Laz is going to shoot a glance to King. You need a moment, and nod his head over to Caprica.
Yeah, I should probably let her know. If you hear me scream, she's probably killing me. So just ears up for that.
I'll be in the corner reading my paper. Laz is going to retire into the far corner, which is basically where he sleeps if he's at the bar, since he doesn't actually
Noted.
have a room. Just in that comfortable chair off along the wall.
Mm-hmm.
Whew. So yeah, is Oz's mother still down here? Or I guess
Yeah.
we're still in operation, so it's still like
Yeah.
busy. Okay.
Oh yeah.
God. I'm gonna be a jerk and just try and like procrastinate a little bit and wait for it to slow down a bit.
Okay. Yeah. Caprica isn't like super concerned, like with everything or like with what's going on with you guys per se. She's still busy managing everything. One of the gnolls will just come by. Majesty.
Oh
How'd it go?
hey. Oh, it's been a long night.
Did he get what you were looking for?
Not really. Not really. But you don't need to worry about that.
Understood.
Thank you for asking, though. I appreciate the concern.
No problem. Then Zanbo starts handing out more drinks and stuff like that.
I don't talk to them enough. Actually, you know what? And I'm gonna get up and I'm gonna go and hang out with the Knolls and like help them serve drinks, wipe tables. I'm just gonna hang out with them until everyone's shifts are up.
Oh, shit,
Yeah,
they got-
you head into the kitchen, start start helping with prep back there. They both look at you
Yeah.
as if you lost, like as if your head fell off.
Can I not spend time with my Knolls? And it's a big deal. I just want to go spend some time with you. Show me how this
Laz
knife
does
thing
too.
works.
Do you even know how to chop
Oh.
vegetables?
Yeah.
I don't. Show me.
Okay. Shinza takes you off to the side and and basically it's that scene from Princess and the Frog where she's showing the guy how to dice mushrooms. Give me a dexterity check, King.
Oh, boy.
Absolutely.
Slowly sips water and watches.
17.
17. Okay.
Oh, that's
yeah,
same.
King.
Same different.
Yeah. King, you yeah. I mean, you pick it up pretty quickly. It's not all that different from like clawing a peasant's face when he insults you.
In fact, I make that exact an analogy. Not really thinking about it too much.
Mm-hmm.
This is too bad. People make this out to be more than it is. This is fine.
Yeah, you're doing great. Just do it a little faster. She says as she starts chopping up a bunch of carrots and whatnot. Gotta say, it's odd seeing you back here. Good to have you though.
Yeah, I'm always out and doing things in the city. I feel like I don't.
Or lounging around here, sleeping in,
Yeah, and I don't spend enough
day
time just.
drinking, night
Yeah,
drinking,
lots of drinking. Yes.
afternoon drinking.
Just have a dry palate. But yeah, I felt like I don't spend time with my precious Knolls enough.
You're okay, boss? You feeling all right?
Oh yes, I have a right as rain, as they say. Trying to make a deception check for that.
Yeah.
Up that okay.
Okay. If she gives you a nod, you say so. It's good having you.
It's good having you all as well.
How did the whatever you were doing?
It could have gone better. I'll just say that.
Oh, sorry.
It happens too often lately, but it happens.
You
It's like blood falls down my face.
some of you guys look kind of rough. You want to? She like looks around, talk about it or something.
I kind of pause and just kind of look at the jewels on my hand for a moment, and I'm going to ask: are the three of you?
Oh, so sorry. Sorry. I have to grab a few things. Caprica comes running in, grabs another plate of food, a couple of steins full of beer, runs back out.
As I was saying, are the three of you happy?
Shinza looks around. I mean, yeah, it's happy enough.
I mean, is happy enough enough? Like, are you happy being owned as you have been your entire lives?
I mean, As opposed to what?
I just look around. Well, you've seen how people in the city live. They do what they want, and the city's been very different for all of us, hasn't it?
Yeah, we've been whipped or beaten in the streets or anything like that. People stand out of our way. They clear a path for us when we walk. We're that important. She gives a big fang smile.
It is nice. Isn't
I'd
it?
much rather be in here working, working in the kitchens, having a nice, safe place to sleep. Do you know that most gnolls apparently over here don't even live in cities? They have to forage in the woods like barbarians or something.
Really, I would have thought there'd been at least some nodes just somewhere in the city. I
Haven't
thought
seen
I
any.
saw one. It was like really small. I think he was in one of the competitions. I don't think it was. I think someone by.
From what I hear, Knowles over here, they just, I don't know. They treat most of them just have to live like animals. Real shame.
That is.
Nope. My motto is every place for everything and everything in its place. We've got our place here. No point in thinking about it too much. No point in worrying about it too much. Because hey, I mean, it could be worse, right?
You're right. It could be worse. It could be worse. Thank you for your insight. I'm sure that was a heavy question, but I don't ask enough of those.
Nah, not really. It's fine. Honestly, it's kind of odd for you to ask much of any question.
I'm trying to do that more these days.
Now, do what you want. Like I said, don't think too much about it, you know?
Yeah.
Well, I
Thank
mean, I guess I shouldn't be telling you that. I
Oh,
mean,
it's fine. It's fine. I welcome it. Too many examples of people who are full of themselves and don't listen to others.
oh, I'm just saying that it's different for you, you know?
It is. I'm trying to be different.
Well, never mind. You wouldn't get it.
Wouldn't get what?
What I'm saying, Majesty, is, I'm sitting here saying these things because, it's how it is for Knowles, you know? But it's different for you.
I guess it is. I guess it is.
It's your job to think about things. It's our job. That's your place. It's our place to do what you tell us to do.
That's true. That is true. Thank you. I'm gonna go back to chopping vegetables.
Mm-hmm.
Waiting for the bar to close.
Anybody else doing anything in particular?
Oz is gonna be selling drugs to nearby people in the streets.
Yeah, sure. If you want, give me a persuasion check.
Okay. Okay.
11. Unfortunately, Oz, it's just like a cold night for drug sales.
Got it.
Oh, Josh, I would try and make a new brew.
Oh, okay. Go ahead.
God, I forgot how to do that.
First off, do you want to make a novice or? Hang on, wait. Pardon me.
Yeah, let me pull up that thing. Where is Where is that handout, Josh?
I'm looking for it. It's under recipe crafting.
Oh. There we go. Brewing. try. You say I can try intermediate now?
Yes, I believe so.
All right. I'm gonna try and make something. I want to experiment at the intermediate level, or do I just experiment and then, depending on what I roll, I get? I don't know. I don't remember how we're doing that.
If you're doing intermediate, go ahead and roll me a d20, add your proficiency bonus, and you're trying to meet or beat a 14.
Let's see here. All right. D20. Oh, nope.
Nope. Okay. Yeah, unfortunately, so you start experimenting up in your room trying to get something just right, and it just doesn't pan out.
I'm too sore, and after slamming these 3 beers, a little too drunk.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, unfortunately, your components get wasted in the effort. Lazarus.
Yes. So anything that Laz is going to do, he doesn't want he doesn't want customers in the bar for.
Oh, okay.
So
Noted.
he's waiting because he would either be kind of reviewing the things that they gathered over the course of the night, so taking out the key or whatever, which he doesn't want to do while the bar is full, or he would be addressing another matter, which he doesn't want to do while the bar is full either. So at the moment, he's just sort of got his eye in the paper and is just kind of keeping a lookout on the bar, making sure everything's clear and whatnot.
Mm-hmm. The story, the papers right now are still talking about, let's see here. Oh, I fell way behind on this.
Are we still in Cop Bar?
Yeah, I mean, like,
Yeah.
you still have a lot of, watch patrons. But yeah, the papers right now, Laz, are all abuzz with the upcoming Albert Grand Prix, visiting of a royal of like some member of foreign royalty coming to the city, things like that.
Okay.
Oh, there is one story of note. The prediction from the noble order of mages and protectors. Every winter, they sort of do a ritual divination to see how the winter is going to go. According to the ritual divination that they've pulled out, produced this time, this winter is probably going to be visited by something known as Oriole's Bite.
Oof,
which is
that doesn't sound good.
No, it is a well-known, not it's sort of like it's a well-known Arctic system. It's a very powerful, almost a quasi supernatural blizzard that blows in out of the north. Not every year, but like at least once a decade, sometimes twice.
What you're saying, Jolly, is I can't escape the polar vortex even in Fantasyland.
Yes, I suppose so.
Fair enough.
What's Waterdeep's power grid like?
There is a there are a system of or rather, I guess it wouldn't be a system per se, but it's not unusual for properties in Waterdeep to have like some form of like connected basement, like interlocking basements or something like that, like a tunnel or an access tunnel that might run between them. But though there's no citywide system for that, it might be like a neighborhood or a block might have something like that. In deep winter, they will sometimes use the sewers if they really need to move like specialists and other forms of infrastructure workers and whatnot to like help out around the city.
Good to know. One other question, Jolly. Something that Laz would probably be doing right now is knowing what's going on in the museum. He'd probably be taking what he knows about the structure of authority in Waterdeep and trying to parse through what the response would be to an extended occupation of the museum by a hostile pseudo demigod thing.
It would depend on.
Yes, it's right here on page 57 of the handbook.
Yeah. Les, give me an intelligence check.
I mean, like we have statues that used to walk, and there it could be on 57 of the handbook. You don't know.
True.
I mean, he's a member of one of the organizations that would handle something like this. So this is within Lazarus's wheelhouse. 14. Laz, yeah, you know, like you would. A lot of this is like dependent on when they learn about this, like how long it's been a problem. Are you wondering like who would intervene, or like at what stages who would intervene, or what they might do, or what?
Um, who would be involved? Specifically, how they would be involved. So I suspect that it would not take terribly long for the reaction to be violent. I'm trying to figure out how long a time that would take specifically.
Again, it would depend on how on like the timetable of like how long it's been going on. Like what exactly is the situation? You know, what you know is first contact is going to be probably the Watch, just because of what they do. After that, they would probably get bumped up to Magiston and Protectors, followed by or any other sort of magical or religious specialist. After that, and right about that point, the Greyhands getting notified and probably intervening with the assistance of those specialists. And after that, it's probably you're probably looking at either the city guard, like the actual military, or probably Force Grey.
Okay.
This is well within their wheelhouse, and depending on how severe the problem is at any given time, it will dictate what they implement. That being said, like the one thing you would know is Force Grey has a reputation of being like they are adventurers who have been pulled in to handle problems with all of the benefits and drawbacks that implies.
So they're about as efficient as your average D&D party, and about as have about the correct lethality count to match.
Yes.
Okay, fair enough.
Mm-hmm.
Cool.
But yeah, otherwise the evening winds down in terms of people start filing out. Caprica finally gets to take a breather. Oz's mother retires for the evening. Probably gets helped upstairs by one of the gnolls. And yeah, you guys are finally having like a moment of peace.
So
One of the gnolls would probably walk by the window, right outside of Oz's little pup tent, and like knock on it. She's gone.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I'll climb in the window after
Okay.
failing to sell drugs, and then go straight to the bar and
Gotcha.
pour myself a drink.
Mhm.
Yo, so what the fuck just happened with us? We got our asses kicked.
Oz.
I'm going to go to where Caprica's at.
Yeah, she's probably just now coming out of the kitchen. I was going to ask about that. You all look rather
Like shit.
well. I wasn't going to put it quite that bluntly, but
I mean, it's accurate. It was not a good night.
Mistress Vivi over here has been drinking the entire evening.
Water. I'm drinking water. I'm on my
Well, yeah.
That ain't
fourth
water, that's
pitcher.
vodka.
No, I could not drink vodka. This is straight.
So, I'll go ahead and get into what happened tonight. We went to the museum to find something, and also potentially deal with some Zents. And Nyx was with us, because she had a particular interest in taking out some Zents for some personal reasons.
I remember.
And I'm not going to beat around the bush. She's in a bit of trouble right now, and we're about to try and figure out what to do about it.
Oh, she's always getting into trouble here and there. I wouldn't worry too much.
Has she ever been possessed by an ancient pharaoh, by any chance?
Like the things on the shelf that she was sorting, like she suddenly stops doing that. What?
An ancient Mulharandi pharaoh kind of possessed her. And there's a whole museum of exhibit about it. It's
Like
pretty
a god,
interesting.
sort of.
God, demigods, something like that, and it's kind of taken her body and is riding it around, ghost riding the whip, as they say here in the city.
The majority of the looks like shit that you're looking at right now was actually Nyx.
She beat the crap out of us, if you can't tell. Or more so the pharaoh riding her body. And that's why she is still there and not here.
I mean, if you think about it, she's like probably very safe, technically. Like, you know. In a
But that
way.
doesn't mean we're
Laz
not
is gonna
going-
shoot Vivi a look.
just because she's bodily very safe due to the horrific Mulharani powers that she's using right now doesn't mean that going in, getting
What
that ghost
sort of-
out of her
What
isn't
sort of horrible powers?
turning people to sand.
I
Almost
think
got female
not rubbing
Caprica.
his temples.
I don't think Caprica knows how to respond to all this.
I know it's a lot to take in. I think it'd be best
I think
to
what she
tell you
does
what.
is she reaches up on the top shelf,
I'll put it away later.
grabs a bottle of whiskey, bites the cork off, pours herself a glass, puts the cork back on, puts the bottle back on the shelf, and slumps down, hugging her knees and drinking that whiskey.
I know that feel, bro.
We're going to get her back. We just have to figure out how.
We should act soon before too many people have the opportunity to get involved.
How are we even gonna do this, guys? Like, do we even have a starting point here? How do
Does
we
it-
get a deity out of somebody's body?
Does anyone know any exorcists? Because, I mean, when you think about it, it's really just a ghost. Just a really strong ghost.
This ain't no ghost, man. And do ghosts even exist?
I've heard mixed
Uh,
reviews.
Oz is very wise. It's asking the right questions.
You hear from the stairs as Izo sits down just at the middle landing, having come back down. I think we're gonna need help.
Preferably somebody who knows their way around spooky stuff. Kind of gestures in King and Vivi's general direction since they're the resident casters. But obviously, a specialist.
Emerging from the shadows. Do you need shadow friends?
We don't need Wait. that okay. The symbol that appeared on Izo, right?
Yes.
Izo, whenever like she like hit you and put that symbol on you, is that still there?
It is not.
Izo looks down. Is it?
No.
Okay.
Could Laz reproduce it on a piece of paper?
You saw it. You have a photographic memory.
Yep. Okay. Laz draws it on a piece of paper, and
It's a 6-fingered hand.
Yep.
Need looks at it. I do not know the symbol. Wait a minute. Hang on. Let me ask Grim. He holds the paper up, like cocks his head for a second. What would hang on? Let me consult Need's character sheet here.
Consult the sheet. When
Would
he's
Need
leveled
know
up, I
something?
haven't updated it, so I don't know where he should be. Probably stronger than his character sheet is right now.
Let's see here. What would this be? Probably Arcana. Let me roll Arcana for Need here. Okay. 18's pretty good. Yeah, Need will hand it back to you. Grim says he's seen it before. He said it was Abyssal? Abyssal. Yeah, that's the word.
What does abyssal mean?
Mm.
Like from the
Laz
abyss.
Yeah, Laz would be. Yeah.
Oh.
Could I make like a charisma check or arcana check to see if I know anything about abyssal or history? Or I guess,
It
I guess you would tell me
would be
what the
Arcana.
Okay.
Yeah, it'd be intelligence-based Arcana.
I was going with Infernal.
Oh yeah, I don't know nothing.
No.
I would do an Arcana check. I think I've trained in Arcana. It'd be weird if I wasn't.
Does Bully know
If you're
anything?
proficient in Arcana, you can roll it.
I think we'll
Could
do
you
this
roll?
Arcana.
Could you check for me?
Sure. Yeah.
Bully rolled a -3.
Sounds about right.
How much do you have to not know about something to get a -3?
A -3. That's like he's a flat earther.
He has a -4
Bully
modifier.
Doesn't even believe in the abyss.
Bully just
Yeah, he's a
straight
flat
up
earther.
is
He believes in
licking
one
his
plane.
eye through the whole conversation.
Abyssal fire can't melt steel beams, guys.
He knows a lot about the abyss. Just every piece of information he has is objectively wrong.
Mhm.
He got it all from Reddit.
Yeah. That sounds about right. I'm bringing your character sheet up here in a second, B. But yeah, I mean, like, you guys don't really. That narrows it down slightly, but all it means is that you can now go consult somebody who actually knows what the fuck they're talking about a little bit better. Let's see if BB knows anything. 18. I mean, yeah, BB would be able to like chime in, give you the rundown of like abyssal means demonic. It's evil. It's alien to other all other forms of life, or it's alien to the natural world and is hostile to all other forms of life. That's probably like that's sort of what you're gonna get with that. I mean, it's not, yeah, sort of like the basics of what demons are, and shit like that. But like they can't help. They can't really narrow anything down for you.
I just start spouting some nerdy shit no one's listening to.
There you go.
As Vivi's spouting just a bunch of jargon that Laz is dubiously following, he's kind of mulling it over, and he's come to two possible options. So I think we have one place where we could probably get more information, but it's in the
Oh, please
it's
don't
in
say
the chain of
library.
command. That is actually a good option. So we'll keep
What-
that
what
in
did-
mind.
What'd you say, King?
Please don't say the library.
Oh,
The library would be a good option, but the library is run
library?
by. The library might not be a safe place for us right now.
We don't have
I
time.
love
We don't
books.
have time for libraries. We need a person who knows.
Correct. So my thought is this.
I can ask
was...
my cousin.
Do you have a cousin who's an expert in necromancy and abyssal nonsense?
No, but I got a cousin who knows people who might be.
Wait, necromancy. What about your lady friend at the morgue?
That was my first option.
Oh yes.
This is. So we could talk to Lynette, since it is a ritual that brought a dead pharaoh
Yeah,
into
Lynette.
the city.
yeah, if
The
she knows
other
how to do
right.
that stuff, then she could just do it backwards, and she'll go back to wherever she came from.
The
I like
other
the way you
option.
think, King.
The other option would be to make contact with the Harper contact at the church.
Oh, you're talking
Church.
about the old guy at the Moon Church where I got my eyes.
Mm-hmm.
I like that man.
The problem is the church. Asking at the church might raise red flags for people that we don't want involved yet.
I mean, if it raises red flags, I mean, that's just something we'll have to deal with because we can't wait on this. There's no telling how bad it's going to get before we fix this.
Why don't we-
all of you roll me an intelligence check. You need me to roll that for you, B?
Intelligence. I love rolling intelligence. Boom! Oh my god!
Oh man, we're
Dude.
feeling smart tonight.
Fuck yeah!
Oh,
Laz
smarter
is
than
the
you.
dumbest ramen in the group right
Smarter than
Oh,
you.
intelligence.
Yeah.
Straight intelligence.
Yeah, just straight intelligence. Okay. I feel like gotcha. Yeah, okay. Izo's the top dog here, and it actually
Oh,
kind of
yeah,
makes
he is.
sense. The comment red flags does like spark a thought that you do know somebody who might know something about magic, and would also be inclined towards discretion. Would probably be Drusilla Osternath, your patron for the owlbear race tomorrow.
Oh fuck yeah!
And an ambassador
hot
to the Red
bald
Wizards
lady.
of Fae. Yeah.
Yes. Hell yeah! Oh my god! I gotta go talk. I gotta talk to Babe.
Wait,
Ambassador Babe.
she could do favor. Our group has to get favors from her, right?
Yes.
Oh, Ambassador Babe.
Like how many favors? Is it like 3, like genie style, or?
It was one each of you, or one for each of you.
Ooh.
We haven't done the elbow race yet, have we?
No,
Nope.
you have not.
Okay, I was wanted
Ah!
to make sure I didn't
Why is your
forget.
picture gone?
No, not our picture.
I'll have to
We're
find out.
all getting Dalinard.
Oh no.
It's not just me
Fuck.
anymore.
That one was not meant to be. But yeah, that name also pops up.
Oh.
Hang on. Let's see. You also, the rest of you got pretty good. Most of you didn't. Let's see. There's Lazarus. It would immediately like with the 16. You would know you could theoretically go to the Black Staff, but that raises some like security issues because they may just nuke the thing from orbit. Harper Contact was a good call. Lynette, Oster, Nath. You could always go to every other channel could raise red flags. So
Yeah.
that I could think of.
Yeah.
Or the Castellanters. That thought might occur to BB.
The castle lanterns are an option.
That's true.
I mean, do we trust them enough for that?
I think
I
we've
mean-
kind of put ourselves into a position where we have to trust them.
I mean, this is sort of kind of related to the treasure, which they want us to do and get and figure out. So, you know, I would think,
We would
Yeah, I mean, our
Really?
goals are aligned right now, right?
yeah.
we would
Why
be
would they-
recovering a master thief from the museum.
Why don't
That's true.
why don't we split up and go ask multiple people? Well,
Nice.
after we healed and slept tomorrow.
Think that's a good idea.
All of this was over treasure.
And
It was a
the
lot of
Zins.
treasure.
And getting revenge on the Zins we knew were going to be there.
We're trying to save the world, and the treasure is the thing that we need to save the world.
So give me a deception check.
That's not bad.
Yeah, that's not bad. She adds 5 to this.
Oh God. Why?
Ugh.
She looks you in the eye, nods slowly, stands up, sets her glass on the shelf. Well, I hope you will all find it and rescue her.
We will rescue her.
I'm going home now. She walks like in a daze past you, King, and just goes through the door.
I'm going to follow her.
Okay.
There's one last thing I wanted to talk about.
What?
It's obvious that being around me is dangerous, which I'm not happy about that either. I talked with,
Get to the point!
if you want a way out of the city, I have a way to get you and whoever else you want on a boat to Maztica. Away from here, away from me. I can arrange that. Because I'm dangerous to be around.
She spins on her heel and unfurls her claws and puts one like right up to your neck. All my life, she looked after me. She was in pain. She was cruel sometimes. But I always knew she was looking after me. Get her back.
I will.
She turns, walks off without saying a word.
I exhale and just kind of stay outside for a bit.
Yeah. The evening passes as you all eventually find your beds. Sleep overtakes you. That night, each of you has bad dreams. Not dissimilar to the ones you had before. Izo, you find yourself walking down the street of Goblin Town. Everybody's like stopping you in the street and just going, "Way to go, Izo! Way to go, Mr. Izo! You really showed him, old boy. Way to go, young blood!" Things like that. Everybody's just like you're the talk of the town. And as you keep going, Izo, as you keep walking down that street, you notice you're on your way to Black Bear Brewery, but you never seem to get any closer to it. And eventually, you start to notice that all the people on the street who are welcoming you, like it starts to repeat, like the same faces over and over again. But each time you pass by a person, their head looks a little more like it looks like they've been punched a little bit more. Until by the time after like 20 or so passes, you are walking by people with faces that are pulp, cheering your name. Lazarus, you are caught in the you're sitting at the dinner table, and Cora has made the most delicious meal. This just incredibly delicious, bloody rare meat, and as you're tearing into it, you just God, this is so good. You could eat this all day. You love Cora's cooking. You love the taste of this flesh in your mouth. And as you keep tearing into it, you can't help but wonder, where is Cora? That you can't really think about it too much. I mean, God, this is really, really good. As you reach over and you grab one of the severed arms of Cora off the table and just start tucking into it. God, she's just such a really good cook. Vivi, you probably have a dream involving Silas, power tools, a some sort of jumper cables, and that's where we're going to end it. And Oz, you probably have some sort of dream involving being back with the family. It's your Uncle Ord's birthday that they hold every year around this time. Or they celebrate every year around this time. But
Do I have a cool hat on? Like a birthday hat?
you have the coolest hat on. In fact, everybody keeps remarking on how cool your hat is.
Nice.
And eventually at some point, everyone's just waiting for you to give up, just to come give the big speech. And as you at first that strikes you as odd, because usually it's Ord who gives the big speech. But then you start to think, no, if everybody wants me to give the speech, I'll give the speech. Why not? Why shouldn't I give the speech? I deserve to give the speech. I haven't been here forever. Maybe I deserve to give the speech. It's proper that I give the speech. Fuck Ord. Why should he give the speech? And as you stand up and start addressing everybody, you realize, oh, they're here for you. Of course they're here for you. They're here to hear you talk and celebrate you. Because this is your big day. This is your big celebration. After you killed Ord and became the new head of the family. Of course. Yeah, of course they're here for you. And King, you have a dream. Okay, yeah, you have a dream where you are lounging poolside. Izo and Lazarus are fanning you. You've got Oz Oz is probably what would Oz be doing in this
In a
situation?
jester outfit dancing.
Jester outfit dancing around. Jimheim is off to the side, playing music for you. Vivi is probably has like some sort of like electrified cattle prod and like poking at Oz, getting him to dance more. And Caprica and Nyx are like rubbing your feet and feeding you grapes. All of them, by the way, are wearing slave collars. And no matter how much wine you drink, no matter how many grapes you eat, you don't ever seem satisfied. You all wake up the next morning, having had a long, though not necessarily peaceful rest.
Definitely wasn't peaceful.
Not peaceful at all.
Ugh.
Les has pulled in some garbage from the alley and is actively sparring on it with Lacrimosa, just beating the snot out of this in the private party room.
I see. Okay, yeah. So you're fighting garbage in the party room. Gotcha.
He's venting his frustration
Mhm.
at something that isn't alive.
No, Laz, I have like a Papa Jim 69,000 if you want one of those.
Does it move?
Uh,
Will it make a satisfying noise when I kill it?
Yeah, it could like explode, but or when you punch it like a regular punching bag, it's satisfying. I could add some speakers to it and add some like noise. Start tinkering with shit.
I'm sorry. What is it called again?
Pop up a gym 69,000.
Okay, gotcha.
I'm in the party room as well.
It's like a little box.
And
It's
it
basically
just
just
pops up.
it's basically just like a bounce
Gotcha.
with like those like punching things that like.
So you're essentially seeing this very serious looking wolf man in a rogue cloak fighting a little pop-up thing like the first trial in Kung Fu Panda.
Gotcha. Yeah.
yeah, that.
I'm just hanging out in the room as well, and I'm just looking at my gyms, my gym claw,
Mhm.
and I'm just gonna try just testing out, just taking it off.
Give me a charisma check. Well, okay. King, as you are looking down at this thing, you start to take it off, and you can feel the gauntlet doesn't want to come off. The magic that courses through your body, you can feel it sort of clutching onto that gauntlet. It is screaming for you not to take it off. You can feel a strain, a tearing, and then a rip deep within you, and you are able to remove it.
Why couldn't I do that earlier? I'm just gonna holding it in front of my face, just kind of looking at it like I've never seen it before.
Mm-hmm.
King, you may need that for what's coming.
I don't know if it will be more help than harm. When I touched the amulet last night, I think this might have been why I couldn't do anything to it. I'm just gonna turn it around in front of my face.
You see your face reflected back in 6 different gems, 6 different colors.
I need to find out more about what these actually are. As you saw the amulet that Luxor and the Fairies had, it had the same gems.
I saw.
King, why don't you come with me when I go talk to Drusilla? Maybe she'll know something.
She might. Maybe, yeah.
Laz will raise an eyebrow at the idea of taking this very obviously powerful magical artifact to a red wizard of Thay.
Ooh, yeah,
But he won't
the
actually.
idea that it could be taken from me again now that's not on my hand, does that do anything to me?
Give me a charisma save. Save this time. 27. The peril of that possibility does sort of like spark in you, King, but you're able to, like, it doesn't overwhelm you.
Okay. I don't want to lose this again, but if I just keep it close on me. Also, wonder if Leprosis might know anything about these that he hasn't told me.
She's not gonna take it from us. She wants us to.
To be fair, Labros doesn't know you have that thing, King.
And that is true. But I mean, as risky as it is to let him know I have it, whatever give me information, it's worth it at this point. Yeah, I like the sound of it, Izo. What do you think about having another stop as well? There's someone from back home. I want to grill a little myself.
Yeah, of course.
Okay.
So yeah, I wrap it real tight and just kind of stuff it in my robes. I stick it in a part of my robes where and just keep my hand on it, like on it the whole time. Oh, that would look weird. Whatever.
All right, Bilbo.
pretty much. So it's not like being worn on my hand anymore. It's just my hand is constantly on it where it's stashed in my robes now.
I see. Gotcha. King, as you get up to go, your legs wobble, and you feel like you have to actually like stabilize yourself for a second. But eventually, you're able to like get your footing. You feel like physically weaker without this thing.
Oof.
I should mention that obviously, if you're not wearing it, you don't benefit from any of the many benefits of it.
Oh god, that's true.
Hopefully, we'll run across. We'll manage to walk by Falafel Papa.
Feeling how weak I feel without its power going through. Can I make another charisma like check or save to see if I'm reconsidering not wearing it again?
Sure.
Save or check.
Save.
So take 1 from that because I think I'm missing 1 from not having it on.
Oh, gotcha. Yeah. Then yeah, King. Like as you're starting to realize, the true ramifications of what this is, and what this means without having it, like it does now sort of appear like the thought in your mind is like, Lazarus did say you might need this.
And I took it off once. I can take it off again, and she
That's
can
true.
look at it while it's on my hand. Also, I got a phone call. But I put it back on. I'm taking this phone call real quick.
Yeah. Actually, why don't we take a 10-minute break as you guys get ready to head out?
That works.
'Cause I gotta fill up my water bottle.
Yes. Speak.
All right. We will reconvene in 10 minutes, or 9:30, or yeah.
All right.
Okay.
Fuck.
You got it.
I would check the ice maker, but I have to get past Max, and if I go downstairs while Max sees me going downstairs, he's gonna get upset. So I can't.
You need water?
I need ice, but the ice maker's broken.
I'm like,
Welcome back. Vivian's making funny noises.
oh,
You having a good time there, Viv? Agee, 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 agee.
I have returned.
hello.
Welcome back.
Hello.
Vivian's still making cute noises.
Aw.
Daw.
Well said, Viv.
Mm-hmm.
So, fun fact time, while I was replenishing all my resources for the long rest, I realized I didn't use any of my gym charges in the fight
Oh,
last
wow.
night, which means I could have like burnt some of those to try another banishment or something.
God
That
damn.
claw betrayed me in more ways than I thought.
And King, you put that thing back on. Is that correct?
Yes.
Seeing this whole reaction that King is having to the claw, this whole interaction right now, Laz is flashing back to every time he's ever tried to quit the bottle and then dived back in, and he's instantly hit with a wave of self-loathing because he just encouraged this.
Right.
It's fine. I took it off once. I can take it off again, I'm sure. I can quit at any time.
Laz tries to say something and can't bring himself to do it.
Ethan's not saying this, but Laz was a lot more fun when he was drinking, so let's not encourage King to quit. He might be boring as shit without that.
Okay. But yeah, as you guys pack up your stuff, get ready to head out. Caprica does not show up for work as you guys head out, or at the very least, she's late.
I mean, makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
I wouldn't expect her in today, or for a while.
So the idea here is to split up and talk with multiple people, right?
Consult with our various experts.
And don't worry about the bar. I told the Knolls that they can go grab Neat and have him, do whatever.
Okay.
We could just do
So
2 groups.
what
Do
would you
also
say,
like-
V?
We could just do 2 groups.
Yeah,
How many
yeah.
groups are
Or
doing?
do
Or
one.
one group.
Yo, that'd be
Just say, fuck
crazy,
it.
right? That would be crazy if we did one group.
We never do that. That would be insane. Here's the problem that I have with this. Every time we do one group, we get into a life-threatening situation and almost die. Just throwing that out there as a
does
counterpoint.
happen usually when we all are in the same place at the same time, huh?
Let's just do one group, please.
We're gonna stick with one group.
I think we
I
only
guess
had
one
two
question
people
we-
to really talk to, though, right? So.
I posted here in the chat. I know you guys were going to talk to Drusilla, and Librasis is somebody that King wants to talk to.
I
If you
wouldn't
still
mind
want to,
talking
you got
cousin.
Lynette. You have Nax, Oz's cousin, and Tam Zawad. You're contacting the Harpers if you wanted to talk to him.
Yeah.
Do we also
I think,
want to talk to the Castellaners as well?
oh yeah.
Oh, right.
Castellan.
I'll add that to the chat to the list.
I think Tam should be our absolute like last call, just because he's more like he's the one I feel most likely to do something
Mhm.
outside of to get other people to do something.
Mm-hmm. Oh, actually, before you guys even head out, Osternath is probably gonna. Yeah, as you guys are about heading out the door, her carriage is probably gonna pull up out front of yours, outside of your establishment.
Well, this makes the day a little easier.
Weren't we supposed to do something today besides all this? Not that it's important anymore or anything.
Well, it's the 14th, so the owlbear race is tomorrow, so there's that. But
Oh, I thought it was today. I was trying to make a
Yeah.
make a gag.
I see.
It's just goofing.
But no, as Drusilla Osternath emerges from, I wish her art wasn't missing right now.
Oh, it's a real shame.
As she emerges from her carriage, she sees all of you, gives a smile. Ah, good. You met me at the door. I believe we have some business to discuss.
More than you know, my lady.
Oh?
I offer her my hand and like I guess walk her in the bar.
She will like, hmm.
Damn, don't go cold.
She'll
on me.
take your. Yeah, she'll extend her hand. You can see she's wearing these. She always seems to wear these to go with her outfit. These beautiful silk gloves. As you take her hand and escort her inside, Osternath politely sits at a table, very demurely. So, I believe that you all have a race tomorrow. I came by to escort you, if you are interested, out to the stables where we are currently keeping my owlbear, or at least the owlbear that you will be using tomorrow, Mighty Bane. I thought you might want to have some experience, get some practice in with him, get the measure of his temperament, perhaps inspect the carrot or the wagon you'll be using, see if it's up to your capabilities. I know you have a capable engineer on your team. If you would like to modify it in some way, or to see if it's up to your standards. Otherwise, do whatever it is that skilled professional owlbear racers like yourselves might need in order to prepare for tomorrow's big event.
Oh, I definitely want to inspect the carriage at some point today. Wagon thing.
That sounds. Oh, go ahead.
Nope, go ahead.
Well, that sounds like a great idea. And while we ride out there, well, there's a few, oh yes,
There she is.
there's that babe, Ambassador Babe. While we ride out there, we have a few unrelated questions that we could really use your wisdom.
Do you now?
What is Wh- what is her demeanor as she says that? Do you now?
She's roll me insight.
All right. Ugh.
I mean, this woman is just steel and stone. She's almost as hard to read as Tanabast is.
I love her for it.
Laz doesn't like people he can't read. Oh, Laz, yeah. If we're gonna do this, we should get going.
Certainly.
All right, let's go.
Yep. Her carriage is big enough to accommodate all of you as you pile on inside. As you're,
we have the piece
Oh,
of
go
paper
ahead.
with that symbol we wrote on it, or that Laz wrote on it.
Sure. Yeah. You'd still have it. As the carriage starts trundling through the city.
Yeah. If Izo asks for it, Laz will hand it over.
Yeah. Lady Drusilla, you don't. Do you know this symbol? And I hand her the piece of paper.
Yeah, she takes it from you, looks at it. I'm going to roll something here, but I have to do it in secret.
Uh-oh.
Secret roll.
Oh no.
She looks up at you guys.
Mm-hmm.
I do. Where did you come across this? She says as she hands it back to you.
We found it somewhere.
We have a friend in trouble, and that symbol came up as we were trying to help.
I would say they're in trouble indeed if they have an abyssal sigil involved in it.
Do you happen to know?
Cultist activity, I assume?
I mean, a party of one.
One. Not sure if that makes it better or worse.
Well, I mean, he's dead now, so is that
Possibly
wrapped up?
worse.
But what he summoned isn't.
I see. Are you telling me that there is a demon loose in this city?
And it's possessed a very good friend of ours that we desperately want to save.
It has possessed this person. Interesting.
Demon, not to our knowledge, but
They
an ancient entity nonetheless.
they presented themselves as an ancient Mulhorandi god.
God. Interesting. I see. And you're looking for my area of my knowledge of this matter?
That is correct.
Any assistance you were able to provide would be of great help.
I see.
As long as it doesn't harm the person who's being possessed right now.
Well, perhaps you should tell me what you know. Tell me what you saw. Give me the full details.
What do you know of the name And Laz is gonna pause because he is really uncomfortable sharing this much information, but he's gonna do it.
Izo gives you a supportive nod.
What do you know of the name Nefertes?
Let's see here. What does she know about that name? Okay. She nods. Mulharani, I believe that's the name of a dead Mulharani pharaoh. The only female one in their history.
Yes. We were investigating cult activity in the Mulharani exhibit of the museum. And a ritual was performed. We had been separated from the friend in the party who's currently in trouble. And Nefertes is the entity possessing that friend.
I see. Quick point of order here. Do you guys want to just tell her everything that went down last night, or is there something that you want to keep to yourself?
Should we keep the that we were looking for the key to ourselves? I would assume we should keep that to ourselves.
Laz would definitely want to keep that between us.
Yeah, I think outside of that though, you should pretty much tell her everything.
But yeah, I was thinking more in specifically about Nefertes. Yeah.
Yes, absolutely.
Okay. Then yeah,
Including
we
the
don't have
description
to.
of the amulet.
Gotcha. Yeah. So.
Yep.
Yeah, we won't rehash. I'm not gonna sit here and make you like recap it all. But as you guys, you guys give her that full breakdown, and you can see she thinks about it for a long moment. And you said that they, interesting. It sounds like to me that. Well, actually, hang on. Let me see what does it sound like to her.
We actually heard the through the Harper pin. We actually heard the words recited. Laz will make sure to include the words of the spell in the description.
When you start uttering those words, Laz, all of you, everyone in the carriage feels a slight sense of unease. Lazarus, you feel like you feel like bile in your coming up your throat as you pronounce the words in Abyssal. There's something about just the. I'm sorry, what?
Does my claw react at all?
No, it doesn't. It's just more of a the sound of the words themselves, the sound of the language, the act of a non-demonic tongue uttering Abyssal is something that is in and of itself like unnatural and discomforting.
It is the Rivendell shit.
It is. It's one of these things where it's the language of a thing, of an entity who is defined by the fact that it hates and wants to destroy all other life. Its tongue is not something that you are equipped, like the mortal ear is equipped to hear and the mortal mouth is equipped to say. And so to hear it is near akin to like a form of violation. But as you repeat it, Osternath nods her head. Interesting. You can see she steeples her fingers. It sounds like to me what you're dealing with isn't a demon, but an eidolon. I'll put that in chat.
I feel like we've heard that word recently.
I don't believe you might have heard it in the spell.
Okay.
Are we about to get much more complicated character sheets, Jolly?
No, I'm not even sure what you're talking about.
I'm making a stupid joke. Never mind.
I
Ignore
see.
me. um. What exactly is an eidolon? Laz is still queasy.
Mm-hmm. Osternath gives you a slight smile, leans back. Well, if I were to
Well-
start going into details like that, I would have to wonder what exactly my expertise is paying for.
She's looking for the Witham.
She's looking for something there.
Mm-hmm.
I believe he agreed to give us each a favor once we win the Albert race. Could this be mine?
And if we don't win the Albert race, then we'll owe you a favor.
My. Owing a favor to a red wizard of Thay. You utter that possibility so casually, Inspector.
Yeah, I seem to be in this position a lot lately.
Mhm.
But that's if we don't win the Albert race.
Indeed. She ponders the idea for a moment. An eidolon is a type of incorporeal undead, born of a combination of dark magic and devout worship. If one were to make a comparison, a eidolon is to, say, a ghost, what a mummy would be to a ghoul or something like that. I know to the layperson that all sort of sounds rather academic, but I assure you it is quite different. An eidolon is a entity that derives power both from its own essence, but also from the reverence of others. It requires a physical form to possess in order to be potent, but once in possession of that form, can be extremely dangerous. Something I think your friend has learned all too well, and perhaps all of you have learned all too well.
Yeah, Laz hasn't changed his clothes. He looks like a wreck.
Yeah.
We don't usually get our asses kicked so hard as we did last night.
Is there a way to separate an eidolon from the physical body that it's possessed?
Normally, no. However,
What?
the details that you provided me pose a few interesting questions. This medallion, this spell. You say that you could not grip it. Is that correct?
That is
Or
correct.
hold it for long.
That
And yet, at the same time, she herself did not immediately seek to acquire the medallion from this servant of hers.
Not until she killed him.
Makes me wonder about the effectiveness of that amulet. It could be that it's actually rather more ornamental than anything else, ceremonial, and thus she had no great concern for obtaining it. Or the item is something of power, but not a power that she herself can use.
That thought had occurred to me too. But
As an eidolon, she requires a certain measure of devotion in order to maximize her effectiveness. She is the relationship is rather ironic when you think about it. A being revered as a higher power, a deity or a living god or an emperor or something along those lines, and yet it is not subservient, but dependent upon those it deems lesser than itself in order to thrive. I suspect that amulet could be used to expel this eidolon from a physical host. Although it may, well, a third possibility does arise, in that the reason she may not have been concerned about obtaining it is that, powerful or otherwise, she is convinced it cannot be wielded against her.
When we gave her the rundown of everything that happened, did it include me telling her about the shadow version of me that I saw whenever I tried to grab the amulet?
That's up to you.
And we need all the help we get. We need all the help we can get. I'll tell her about that too, and I'll show her the claw in my hand. The amulet had gems similar to this.
Very curious. She reaches out to touch it for a second and then stops, sort of folds her fingers back up.
I suspect that this is why I couldn't grab the amulet. We're not sure if anyone else could have, but I suspect this might be the case.
during this interaction, Laz is watching her very closely.
Her motions are very minimal.
Okay.
So that's probably your situation. That amulet could if anything can expel that entity, it would most certainly be that amulet. However, it probably also comes with a certain amount of risk. Furthermore, I should warn you that an eidolon requires a physical body and is quite adept at acquiring one.
So
If it is expelled, it will seek a new host. And it can get quite creative. Don't assume that freeing your friend is equivalent to stopping that thing.
It'll be a good first step, at least.
Do you happen to know what could destroy one of those things once we have removed it?
Destroy it? No.
banish it.
Contain it? I could contain it. Or I am in possession of something that could contain it. Something that could, in theory, contain the whole package. Safely, securely, both for its own sake and for the outside world, until such time as we are more certain about the process of separating host from Eidolon.
Hmm.
Something which I am inclined to allow you to use.
Once we use it, then what happens to her?
Well, if it were used before the separation, I assume is what you mean. Otherwise, the Eidolon would go inside. And at that point, it's, in generally speaking, none of your concern. I think we can all be in agreement to that, correct?
I agree with that. Everyone else?
When we get Nyx back, yeah, scary cat lady goes away. Yay!
Yeah, that's all Izo cares about.
Laz has other considerations, but he will nod.
There you go.
Also,
However, if you wanted to, if your more immediate concern is just simply securing the host and keeping her from harming others or being harmed in return, there you go. She would be safely contained away. We could research the matter further. And when the time came, you could release her and solve your problem.
It does sound ideal.
And you would do nothing else to the host in that process besides removing that along and setting her free.
I would merely be allowing you to use an item from my collection. Everything else is up to you.
oh, what happens afterward? Let's say this happens. We get the goobly gop out of her, and then do you want that item back? Like, what's going on over here?
I mean, yeah, basically.
The nature of the item, I would require its return, yes.
And what would you do with the thing?
Do with, you mean the Eidolon inside?
That's the one, yeah.
Does it matter to you?
A little bit.
As
you
long as
have
you
a
don't
pers-
use it to like
with the Eidolon?
make a big robot that stomps down our bar and when we know, I don't care what you do with that Eidolon, to be honest.
Big robot.
Osternath will lean over to you, Oz, with a smile on her face. Are you concerned I'll hurt it?
No, not that. I don't give a fuck about that. No. But
Are you
it
concerned I'll
does.
use it to hurt you?
Yeah, or maybe somebody I care about.
I don't see any reason why I would do that. We're all business partners here.
Business partners and friends. And Izo gives a big smile.
And friends.
Honestly, the way I look at it, if you wanted to use the resources at your hands to make our lives worse, you have more than enough to do that already without an Eidolon in your possession. Does that sound about accurate?
You are quite observant. There is the matter of payment.
Well, I think that's good payment, right? Are you paying us?
Oh, no. For one thing, I would have to know. Is me allowing you to use this item? Well, actually, would
You
you
get an
want to
idol
use
on
this? Would you want to use this item sooner rather than later?
Yes.
Yes.
Before the Eidolon has a chance to hurt anyone, or anyone has a chance to hurt the host.
I see.
So like
Then you'd
today
probably
before the race, tomorrow before the
that's
race, or like
that's what I'm driving at.
tomorrow after the
Before
race.
exactly
Does the race have
before
like an intermission at any point? Because we could maybe do it during that.
you will not have time for that. I can assure you. I am willing to allow you to use this item prior to the race on two conditions. One, this will count against one of your favors.
For mine.
And two, I want you to be very, very cognizant of the fact that I want you to win this race tomorrow by any means necessary.
I mean,
And
how
I would-
much could the Eidolon do in like a day? You know, a day and a half, possibly 2 days.
That's not what
How
she's
long
getting
ago
at.
was it released?
Last
Last
night.
night.
Last night.
Last night.
Last night.
Enough time has
Nick's
passed.
ribbit.
Yeah, she thinks about it for a second. It's probably already established a lair at this point then.
Oh yeah, totally. Yep. I think so. Right.
By the way,
that's-
if you
right,
have
King?
any tickets to the museum, I would try and flip those like now.
Yeah. Yeah, lady. Yeah, Lady Drusilla, do not. Now's not a good time to go to the museum.
Yeah.
I
It's
don't.
very
I certainly
sandy.
wouldn't intend to. Although, correct me if I'm wrong. Isn't the Museum of Waterdeep? And she says this as she's sort of like looking at her nails, even though she's wearing gloves. Isn't the city of Waterdeep managed by the Temple of Ogma? Which would mean that there would be some sort of mourning staff that would come by, consisting mainly of priests, probably priests that could cast magic, who would be walking into a very sticky situation.
We really should have left a note on the door, shouldn't have we?
Did we not leave it? Did we not do anything?
What time is it?
It's probably 10 o'clock in the morning.
I mean, considering
probably
we went
dead
in there
already.
like a police force sort of thing, wouldn't we have put out some kind of like signs, you know, closed or something? You do not enter.
Oh
nobody-
yeah, like the if you recall the museum was closed yesterday.
Mhm.
While they were doing inventory, so the concern about the general public coming is not there.
Oh, but the priest
But
would
those
still go in, even if
Yeah,
it's like.
but the
yeah,
priest
yeah,
would have
yeah.
still gone in.
Shit, fuck.
What we supposed to like report to somebody after all this shit too? Because we were like doing
The
something
curator who
together?
would be the first one through those doors.
Fuck. We were running for our lives a little bit. Did not
La-
think that through.
Laz, you're gonna
Secondly-
lose your badge.
At any
No, this is
eventually people will notice that those priests are missing. When that happens, and we'll cut to or no we won't. But eventually when that happens, they'll send, I would imagine, the watch, at least a few members to just check on things. I suspect they won't come back either. By the time the sun sets, who knows how many people could have gone in there? And I can assure you, the Eidolon will make good use of them.
What if we delay the race like a week?
Especially given what some of the other details you've given me about it.
So, guys, I think
So what
we
you're
might
saying
want to
is we
cut
need to
some
go
of our visits off our
today.
list. Oh, go ahead.
What I'm saying is
I
that
have an idea.
what I'm saying is that problem will only get bigger.
I have an idea. We get all the other teams that are going to be racing, and we round them up, and then we put them somewhere so that they don't win. And
The
then
museum, perhaps.
we have a representative coming tomorrow, and we win by default. And at the same time that we're taking care of all this stuff.
Hmm. I think
I
we
don't
just
think that
keep-
idea is all. I don't think that idea is all that problematic. I think that could work out quite well.
You just see Laz just sitting in the seat, just
Remind me.
imploding.
Wait, remind me. Did we have any of the red thrill on hand, Stashway?
I did steal
Um,
some stuff.
You have one. You guys do have a dose of it. Somebody would have had that.
Oh, I bet if we give that to the mighty Bane, we'll win that race. No power.
Oh no!
I have
Sorry,
3 pudding
no,
cups.
sorry. Your narc gave it to the cops. I'm sorry.
No, there were two. I think one got spirited away from me.
Oh, but then you might have one floating around somewhere.
Also,
Sure, we'll
I
say
would have brought
we'll,
it.
we'll
I
say
would've
you have
brought
one.
we should not give thrill to the mighty Bane.
No, no.
Yeah, that's a terrible idea.
We should
it.
absolutely give it to the mighty Bane.
No.
We could give
No.
pudding. I have the pudding cups. Remember what did they do again? Did they
It
make you
just
like?
tastes good.
We should not give
No!
psychiatric drugs to Bane.
No, we can give it to the other ones.
How are you gonna do that?
The pudding cups aren't anything but pudding cups. I was just eating them because I
No.
I thought it'd be funny to steal from mental health patients.
No,
No, Ryan's
no.
remembering
They-
right. There was something up with the pudding cups.
there
There was
was?
something up with the pudding cups.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I was eating them hand over fist.
Yes.
Oh crap!
Yes.
I thought they just I thought I was just doing a bit with them tasting good.
For all
No.
we know, you're still under the effects.
I mean, that's probably true.
No. I forgot what it did, but it like made.
We don't know. You guys never figured that out. But you were able to ascertain there is in fact something up with the pudding cups.
It made Eric's character, or not Eric, Eric's brother, or whatever the fuck it was, in the insane asylum. It was fucking him up.
Yep.
I still have some Dream Lily in my stash and some Cosmic Essence.
I
The
also have that too.
drugging the owlbears idea is seeming more and more fruitful. Whether we give ours cocaine or we give
Cocaine owlbear.
cocaine
None of
owlbear. That's how we're winning that race.
None of
No.
this helped
Damn
us
it.
today.
The one thing I will advise against is if you were to do something along those lines, don't get caught because you would almost certainly be disqualified.
Yeah, I'm sure they have a lot of security measures that would prevent that from happening.
We don't need it. We don't need to do that kind of cheating. We're gonna crush them.
Are there any anti-immolation rules in professional owlbear racing? Because I can go into that with plenty of spell slots.
You're not allowed to kill the other racers
Ah, God.
intentionally.
There we go.
We found the loophole.
Whoops, wall of fire. Whoops, wall of fire. Whoops.
So there are all these considerations. So it sounds like you are open to this prospect, this arrangement.
I think so.
There is one more thing. Given that I have been so generous with my information, and I have been so generous as to modify our agreement, I believe some compensation is due for my generosity. I'd like that medallion.
Knew it.
But the medallion, the Eidolon thingy you used?
Correct.
Sure.
Laz is just getting progressively more and more uncomfortable over the course of the conversation.
Face it, Inspector. If that item is dangerous, and I think we all know it is, I'm probably the one best suited to containing it.
Also, Laz, the most important thing is that we save Nyx. You
Do we
can
really
worry
have a
about the
choice?
future. You can worry about the
Wait.
future and shit after we save Nyx. And for one, I know you don't. You struggle to trust anybody. I trust the fuck. I'm blanking. The lovely lady Drusilla.
Laz looks to is just like kind of staring at Drusilla for a moment. Looks over to Izo. With this resigned expression. I know that saving Nyx is the priority. You're never going to get me to stop worrying about what happens next. We don't have any other options, though.
I'll also point out that I trust Drusilla a hell of a lot more than over half the people we work with at the Watch.
You do me a great kindness with that comment. Thank you, Iso.
Izo blushes like insane. He's so chuffed.
So, do we have a deal?
I don't want to
I
make
do
calls
need
for you.
to. I do
What?
need to hear it from each of you.
I can't speak for anyone else, but I agree.
Yes, my lady.
Did you say she needed a
sounds
hair?
fine.
What did she say she needed?
Well,
Uh,
hold on, I heard something about hair.
Oh, he heard something. About
I think
hair.
he misheard
Oh.
here.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, wait,
I
what?
feel like I'm in the exit row of an airplane where they have to hear a verbal confirmation that we're able to help in a case of emergency.
Ryan, did you have a question?
I misheard what she said. What did she say?
She was saying, do we have an arrangement? I need to hear it from each of you.
I mean,
Oh.
I don't think we need that amulet for anything, right? So, yeah.
Hamlet might
It
be.
makes
Is
total
that a
sense
yes?
to me. That's a yes for me.
I'm gonna
Mr.
have my
Blue Blood?
my fingers behind my back and they're crossed. And then I
Mhm.
said, "Yep, yeah, sounds good."
Okay.
I think Laz, are you the last one to respond?
Always. Laz is always the last one to respond, and he'll just respond with a curt nod.
She'll tap on the back wall. The little coachman's panel will slide open. Yes, ma'am. Stop the carriage for a second, won't you, Chambers? Yes, ma'am. Comes to a stop. Well then. She'll reach up her sleeve and produce a black iron key. Let's go get that item. She'll hold the key into the air, turn it, and a door will appear out of thin air.
Ooh.
Oh, so she just has access to this
Oh.
stuff at all times then. Oh, that's awesome.
That was that ooh was in character.
Yeah, same.
After all of you.
I walk in. How misty is it inside of here?
No, not misty at all. King, when you step through that door, the door closes like you'll open the door, walk through, and the door closes behind you. or rather, I mean, it shuts. Like the portal doesn't disappear or anything like that. But you would arrive in a stately appointed, looks like not office, but living foyer, parlor. There we go. Ottomans nice cushy ottomans, dark wood paneling everywhere.
Lovely.
Nice. Why do we spend the whole ride in here?
She loves she apparently has a big thing for mahogany. You can see that there's like a hallway that goes beyond that, like goes further. But if none of you object, like each of you files in through that door and appears in the foyer alongside Osternath.
Laz will be the last to enter other than Osternath.
Mm-hmm.
Are there any windows?
There are no windows in any of these rooms that I'm going to describe.
Okay. Does it feel hot? What is what does the temperature inside feel like? Like, does it feel like
the temperature inside is perfectly is like exactly 72 degrees.
Okay.
What's the humidity like?
Extremely comfortable.
What's the decor like?
The decor is, again, like dark wood paneling, lots of like overstuffed chairs. There's a probably a few like potted plants. There's definitely like a fish tank or two, something like that.
What's the electromagnetic field like?
You know, it's spooky.
Oh, shit.
That spooky setting, yeah.
Altitude from sea level. Are our ears gonna pop or anything? Do we need to chew some gum?
No, your ears are fine.
You are compelled to yawn when you step in.
I will say though that my blood pressure is slowly rising.
That just means you're DMing, Jolly. It's part of the process.
I see.
Yeah, it just means we're playing right. We're doing
What are
doing
they
our job
like
as players.
oxygen levels in here?
For
So
once, it's not me
pollen
asking the
count.
stupid questions.
The pollen. I'm allergic. I need to
The
know.
Is this
polycount.
area hyperallergenic? Is it pet free?
Is this 64-bit or
I like that pollen count and pollen
20.
count just diverged into two different branches of jokes, and they both worked.
Who's typing?
you know what? I don't even care. I think you all deserve what's coming.
Oh
let's
god.
see.
Okay.
We do because we're good people.
Sure.
Yeah, no.
What do I want here? Sure. We'll stick with this one. But yeah, Osternath will lead you from the parlor. Interesting, there are no doors like the door you use to enter here like vanishes after you step through, and you realize that there are no doors into this waiting room. As she starts walking down the hall, she is eventually like greeted by this like withered old butler, who she like refers to as Withers, who gives her like a polite bow. He's got like a little, he's got a tuxedo on. He's got a little hot towel draped, or like a little towel draped over one arm. But he comes up, he greets her. She instructs him to go fetch her, I guess, something to drink. He gives a polite bow, heads back down the hall into a side room, and as you guys are like walking past, you can see it's some sort of little kitchenette. You pass through pass by a coat room, but eventually emerge into a spacious. Hold on, where's my dog going?
Hi, Josh's dog.
But it's Barney.
Of course, it's Barney.
Yep, I knew it.
No, stay with Dad, buddy. Come here. You don't need to be wandering off.
That
You always
should-
get into
where
trouble
is-
when you wander off.
Where is my dog? Good boy.
But she brings you into this very spacious room, where, let's see, yeah, like beautiful marble floors. There are matching podium, like pedestals around that have like weapons displayed on them. Like the decor in this room, this appears to be a collection of weaponry. It's not an armory, but like just a sort of weapon gallery. As she walks you through here, she's like, "This is my little collection of weapons that I've managed to accrue. Each of you can roll me. Yeah, each of you can roll me a D100.
Ooh, cool.
Oh, nice, lads.
Yeah, now I roll high.
Yeah.
Can I add a 4 to my roll?
A 4 will. What will? Of course it will. Okay. Okay, so 56, 22, 90. Okay, yeah. As she walks you guys through this room, let's see here. Okay. Yeah, as she walks you guys through this room, you guys like there's a lot of weapons in here. Izo, your eyes fall upon a weapon, or something sitting on a pedestal. It looks like a. I mean, this is the weapon room, but it's not. You're not really sure like what kind of weapon this is. It looks, honestly, kind of looks like Jawbones. But it has a tag that says TR665, or hang on, TR-665. And it's a weapon that looks, again, shaped similarly to Jawbones, made of like black steel, and has a large circular magazine plugged into it.
Cool.
And let's see, with these rolls. Okay, Lazarus. You spot. Like these are just items that are just catching your attention.
Mm-hmm.
A dagger made from a single piece of jagged obsidian that pulses with a deep garnet light. It has a tag attached to it that, or the little plaque underneath of it, the little thing that the little thing underneath of it says AT-001. As Drusilla leads you through this room, eventually the marble floor gives way back to carpet as you guys enter into a long hallway that also starts to like widen as you walk. As you emerge into the armor and apparel section, you're passing by suits of armor, clothing, robes, cloaks, helmets, hats, things of that nature. Let's see. Lazarus. One item in particular stands out to you. It's a mannequin's head with a wig on it. The wig has this long, flowing, pale gold hair.
Mm-hmm.
The reason it stands out to you is because of the scent, which is distinctly, indisputably wolf.
Laz just unconsciously and legitimately just does the dog sniff and cocks his head at this blonde wig that smells like wolf.
Yeah.
Which doesn't seem right.
The tag on it says CG013. CG-013.
Okay.
And King, you would notice a this is hard to miss. King, it's hard to miss because it's radically different than everything else in this room, but it is neither. It's like normally these clothings or these suits of armor would be on like some sort of rack or mannequin or something like that. What you're walking past, King, is a spherical globe, probably 4 feet wide. Inside, you can see is a flat, gelatinous bluish purple creature, roughly 5 feet long, that floats in the air. It has numerous black eyes that sort of not dissimilar to a spider's that seem to follow you. This thing is intelligent enough to like see you, and like its head follows you as you walk past it.
Yeah, I try and maintain eye contact with it as I'm walking past, just kind of like trying to figure out what I'm looking at.
Mm-hmm. The tag on the little pedestal underneath of it says KS-248. And Vivi, you would spot very distinctly lot ZR1-111, a helmet made from the skull of what looks to be a Triceratops-like creature. Oz, with your roll, you would notice the item that would stand out to you here would be lot number PR-002, a tie-dyed shirt of a dozen colors with strange symbols on it.
Of course, I take it. Just kidding. Okay. I see. Interesting.
Oz, give me a perception check real quick.
Okie dokie, hokey pokey. Let's take a look here. Give me a second. Just pressing the buttons. Look at the things.
Okay.
That's pretty good.
Yeah. Hang on here, Oz. As you guys exit from this long hallway, you now emerge into a circular room with a assortment of staves, rods, wands, books, things like that. Each sitting in like little niches around the edges of the room, leading to a spiral staircase that goes down. Each of you roll me a percentile here.
Oh,
Of 100?
man. That's funny.
Oh,
Oops,
Interesting
that's-
rolls.
That was the wrong button. First one. First one was a D20. My bad.
21, 92, 48, 99, and 6. Okay. Lazarus, the item that would stand out to you here is lot JT-078, a rod of bluish metal with small diamonds running along its length like stars in a constellation. Vivi, the item that would stand out to you here would be a hand mirror whose with like a large pronounced diamond on the back of it, and is crafted in like this beautiful sort of like the metal looks like almost like filigree. It looks like they took metal and almost like wove it more than shaped it or smithed it. That would be lot NT-124. Let's see here. Let's take a look. King. Actually, oh no, that's not in this part here. Yeah, okay. But yeah, you guys would hit that staircase, and as you descend, you eventually would emerge into a rectangular room that is decorated with gemstones and jewelry. Down here, King, you would notice a let's see. An odd item. It's a sliver of it's a thing of bone. Looks almost like a whistle made of bone, but like very oddly shaped. Maybe it's some sort of musical instrument, you're not really sure. Circular, and you just get this sort of disquieting feeling when you look at it. This is lot FR-814. And Izo, you would notice
This
as you
lady
guys
just
emerge.
a cosplayer and she makes her own like anime items.
Something like that. Oh no. Yeah, Ryan would notice this one. Ryan, you would notice in this room of gems and jewelry, a brooch carefully placed in a little display case of a black rose. The tag on it would say KR-641. And as you guys,
I would know that.
there would be
Well, it is like
you
a
would
little
see.
display thing.
Yeah, it's a little display with a little tag on the case, but some sort of brooch in the shape of a black rose.
It's broken.
And then the last leg of the or the second to last leg of this collection would be her collection of potions, alchemical items, vessels, containers, powders, things like that. Where Izo, you would notice that separate, like sitting on a pedestal far away from all the other items on display. Most of the things here are like up against a wall. This one, it has its own little pedestal. It is a spherical vial sitting on a velvet cushion, which contains a swirling mote of pinkish purple fire with white little flecks in it. With the tag JT003.
Interesting.
And then I need you all to roll me one more percentile check. Or not check, but just percentile.
All right, let's see here. Get all my low rolls out of the way.
Okay.
Bring it to the bottom, and she's gonna be like, "All right, answer my riddle. Which item was JT0039?"
Fuck, dude.
No,
I didn't
nothing
write
like
anything
that.
down.
One thing, yeah. As you're all walking past, you'd get one more look at the room as you leave. King and Oz would see that that in it, like, you've got that spherical vial on a pedestal off to one side, matching it, mirroring it really, on the other side of the hall, other side of the room, is a pedestal with a velvet cushion, on which sits a like almost looks like a it looks kind of like a perfume bottle almost. Inside of which is contained like this creamy, milky looking fluid. As you walk past it, you would catch like a sweet aroma arising from it with the tag PR001. But Osternath walks up to a big set of double doors, produces her key again, inserts it into a physical lock, and turns it. The doors open to a circular room with a domed ceiling of crystal. As you guys walk into the room and look up at that ceiling, there is no cloud. There are no clouds above you. There is only empty black space dotted with stars and unfamiliar planets.
Whoa.
Sick.
Okay. Yep.
There are 5 pedestals in here, each one carved of incredibly ornate marble, on which sit 5 items. One of them is a black wooden box with gold inlay and a gold locking mechanism. Roughly 2 feet long, 2.5 feet long. It is currently closed. On the second is a beam of light is shining down on each of these items. The second one, the second pillar, pedestal, whatever you want to call it, contains a small sphere of perfectly polished silver. Polished, actually, it's more like chrome. It's so reflective. And etched with precise laser detail is the name Joran Searhart. On a third pedestal, there is a wooden box, probably 2 feet by 3 feet. Oh, I'm sorry. The each of these items has a little nameplate on it instead of a lot number. The box would be the proposal. The that silvery sphere with the name Joran Searhart in it is the Carillion. This wooden box, this like sort of rectangular, chunkier looking box, is simply called the Drop. This fourth item is called the Abomination, and it is a looks to be like a staff of black wood with an odd with some yeah, it's a staff of black wood with 4 scythe-like blades on either end of it for 8 blades in total. And that one just seems to hover in the air as well, or at least it's being held by very thin wire. But she doesn't approach any of those. Instead, she goes to the 5th pedestal, which contains a golden ewer. The tag on it simply says "The Vessel," which she very carefully reaches out. No, hold on. Yeah. When she walks up to it, before she sticks her hands into the light to reach it, she very, very delicately removes her silk gloves to reveal a pair of hands, or rather, to reveal a pair of skeletal hands made entirely of finely riveted bronze.
I thought she was just gonna like be ice or something. You know, it's gonna be like she starts singing the
Close.
show tune.
But she reaches out and grabs that golden ewer, which, as she presents it to you, you can see has the images of genies all along its outside edges, or all along its outside. Presents it to, I think King would be most appropriate in this situation.
Yeah. Whichever. So this is the thing, huh? How do you use it? Do you just try to shove them in there? Or?
When they are close, or when they are within 5 feet of it, remove the lid.
And how do we know that it'll only capture them and nothing else like around them? Like, is it?
It will not capture. It will not capture the person who removes the lid, but
I
it
see.
will draw in anything within 5 feet.
I see. Are there any like restrictions on how many times we can like open and close it, or?
I would not open it until you're ready to. Well, let's just say I wouldn't open it again until you are very certain you know what to do.
I see.
Once you're ready to open it, come see me.
Does it look heavy?
Possibly, like it's bulkier than anything else. This thing
Alright.
probably stands about 3 feet tall.
Oh wow.
Okay. Izo will
3
pick
feet
it
tall,
up.
2 feet wide.
Yeah, Izo will pick it up.
Yeah, I handed it to Izo, no problem.
Yeah, Isa, when you pick it up, yeah, this thing is pretty heavy. It's made of gold.
Okay. Damn. 2 foot by 3 feet made of gold. That's gonna be heavy as shit. It's a good
Yeah.
thing I'm a strong boy.
She then very carefully puts her gloves back on.
Oh, what do her hands look like?
Oh, I'm sorry. I did it not come through?
No, I might have missed
Oh,
that part. I'm sorry.
her hands are skeletal. Or she has skeletal hands made of perfectly or incredibly finely riveted bronze.
Ooh. It's not what I was expecting.
Now then, I've held up my end of the arrangement. There's
We will-
just one more thing I need from each of you. And at that point, the door behind you opens again, and Withers, the butler, emerges carrying a tray with a bottle of wine and several glasses. She smiles at you, takes the wine, pours all of you a glass. Lazarus, the wine is pitch black. I would ask that you all join me in a toast to our wonderful little business arrangement.
I didn't realize you were familiar with this vintage.
It's extremely
That's-
hard to come. It's extremely hard to come by. You wouldn't know how much trouble I have to go through to acquire it. But I am very
Wow.
good at gathering rare items from the strangest of places.
I'm watching Laz's reaction now before I, like, bottoms up.
Laz Laz swirls the wine in the glass.
Yo, this looks like
He-
shit.
He sighs.
I assure you, Mr. Blueblood, you've never tasted anything quite like it.
This is fancy. I've never seen black wine before.
Laz will down his glass in one gulp.
Can I check if it's magical? I probably can't.
Do you have the means to do that?
No, I don't think I do.
Well,
I just drink it.
I'm sure I've made worse deals than this in the past couple of months, and I bottoms up it and drink it as well.
Izo
I
swirls it. He smells it.
I don't like any of this.
What does it smell like? What
It
notes am I getting?
smells. It smells like What is? Give me a pleasant. Give me a smell that would remind Izo of his childhood. A pleasant aroma.
It smells like freshly malted grains.
That's what it smells like.
Whoa. Never smelled a wine before that smelled like
Beer.
almost
So-
smells like beer.
Question.
Take a little
question.
sip and I smell again.
What I want to do is I want to have Bully behind me, open up his mouth, and I'm gonna pour it over my shoulder and pretend I'm drinking it and pour it into Bully's mouth.
Give me a sleight of hand check.
Question, Jolly. Would it? Would would the smell?
God damn it!
Would it smell like anything that would remind Laz of his father?
If you ever took the time to smell it, it would smell. It would be a pleasant smell from your childhood.
Regardless of who that smell was tied to.
Yes.
Because he was swirling it before he took the drink. He would have
Oh,
would
then
have been
yeah.
able to smell it then.
Yeah. What did it smell like for Lazarus? Oz, I see that check.
Oh
I'm
boy.
I'm looking for something.
The smell will actually cause Laz to pause. He won't down it in one gulp, because what it actually smells like is his father's favorite pipe weed. And he didn't expect to be able to remember that.
Mm.
But he remembers specifically like evenings with remembers evenings and like learning chess. Like he's got the gap where his father is, but he remembers the smell.
Mm. And Oz, as you attempt your little move here, Bully makes a big like display of you doing like you. It's not so much your hand so much as it is Bully like just like very obviously drinking up that wine as you sort of splash it behind you.
Mm-hmm.
He almost like half tackles you. Mr. Blueblood, it looks like you've spilled your drink.
Oh yeah, looks like I did do that. Yep.
Here,
Whoops.
why don't I pour you a second glass?
Oh, well, pour me as many as you need.
She reaches over, pours a second cup, and watches you directly.
Whatever. I smell it.
What does it smell like to Oz?
Hmm. He remembers the fresh air of the city during the summertime with his cousin, and he has like just like the breeze outside that was going on at that time.
Yeah. You smell the fresh air, the salt on the air.
And I guess I drank it reluctantly.
Yeah, as you down the glass, you can see a smile stretches across Osternath's face. She takes a sip, Oz, and you can see that the wine goes into her mouth and then falls through her chin. All of your visions eventually fade to black. You awaken in the carriage, riding back towards the city. It looks like 6 hours has passed outside. You don't remember coming out here, though, or rather, you don't remember the carriage stopping or anything like that. At the very least,
Wait, so what did the wine taste like though? Did it taste good?
The wine, when you taste the wine, it would taste bitingly
wine.
cold and utterly flavorless.
Fuck it.
Mhm.
At least it's
So
cold.
we're outside the city?
You're outside the city. Coming back.
How
6
close are we
hours have
getting to being
passed.
back?
You have no memory of leaving the city. No memory of leaving the city. No memory of any sort of weird door. You've got this ewer, and and like Osternath's explaining. Now remember, just remove the lid, and when you're within 5 feet of her, and that should draw her in.
Do you remember the taste of the wine?
You don't remember any wine.
Gotcha. But does the taste like linger in our mouths or anything like that?
There's probably like a cold numbness in your mouth. Yeah.
Gotcha. Okay. Right, 5 feet. Right, 5 feet.
Osternath is in the carriage with us.
Yep.
What time is it?
How long have we been out of the city?
What are you talking about? You've been out for most of the day. You were practicing with the owlbear, remember?
Yo, is there something wrong with your jaw?
I don't think I don't think you would remember
have
that.
No memory.
You
Yeah.
wouldn't
Oh, I
remember.
don't remember. Oh, okay.
Yep.
We don't remember
not-
being
We
in that
remember
room.
last night, right?
You remember last night, yeah.
Do you remember our hands?
Last night.
You do not. You don't remember anything since that carriage stopped and she pulled up the key.
Okay.
You don't remember the key. You don't remember the carriage stopping. You don't remember the key or anything.
Yo, I gotta stop taking my own stuff.
Do we remember the humidity of the room?
No.
Okay, good.
What about the electromagnetic field?
Nope.
Not even the perfect 72 degrees Fahrenheit?
No, unfortunately,
Dang.
it's very thorough.
Oh man, this lady probably don't have time for any of our other stops.
We just need to deal with Nyx before anyone hurts her or she hurts anyone else. When she's in the vessel, the thing, we'll have more time. Laz is trying to cover the fact that he is freaking out right now.
I give him a pat. It's gonna be okay, Laz.
It's never okay, Vivi.
Everything's always okay, Laz.
I don't know what city you've lived in for the last 10 days, but it's never okay.
I just keep a positive attitude at all times.
I think we all need a vacation.
Laz, you're you're a real bummer since you stopped drinking.
Do we smell like we've had anything to drink?
No.
Okay.
Do we smell like the drinks that we drink? Does it smell like a nice breeze?
No.
I don't get that sense at all. Okay.
No.
Do we smell like owlbear? Like she said?
You don't.
Because we, quote unquote.
Do I smell like I haven't put deodorant on my whole life?
I mean, has Oz put deodorant on at any point in his life?
No.
Then, yeah, probably.
I feel obligated to apologize for us, but I know better. We're just gonna do this again next session. uh, okay.
So should we just swing by the museum now, or any other preparations we should make?
Hmm.
I would take all the time you need to make the preparations that you need. I'm sure that this Nefertes isn't going to make it easy for you. Just remember,
Yes.
race is tomorrow. And I'm counting on you to win.
We won't let you down.
I'm sure you won't. Thank you, Izo.
We're gonna
Always,
fucking
always,
biff that race so
always,
hard.
Drusilla.
Laz is fully expecting to be executed after that Altair race tomorrow.
I mean, if we lose and she's after our blood, she can just get in line with everyone else who's trying to kill us.
That is
E-
very true. That is very true.
Izo's just trying to decide if he's going to use his favor for a sweet magic item or another date.
A date where y'all pick out a magic item.
Oh yeah. uh,
But otherwise, Osternath will take off in her carriage.
where did she drop us?
At your bar.
Back at the bar?
Mhm.
Okay, if we were to make any other preparations, what would we even do?
Oh, Josh, I want to be bold.
You want to be what?
Bold.
Bold?
Yeah, I want to be bold.
As opposed to like regular or italic.
Yeah. Yeah, as I'm getting out of the carriage, I'm going to quickly lean over and try and give her a kiss on the cheek.
Oh,
shit.
that may not go well for you. Give me a Give me a
Just
sleight
shake
of
your
hand check, I guess.
Damn.
10. Yeah, you go to make the gesture. She politely holds up a hand. Thank you, Izo. But save it for after the race. She adjusts your shirt a little bit for you. Pats you on the chest.
Izo wilted at first a little bit, but then it's like puffed back up and is excited. Of course. After the race. And he smiles and leaves.
Carriage trundles off.
I have
So
no idea.
we'll use the rest of the session for any final preparations, conversations you guys want, and we'll handle confronting Nefertes next time.
Let's see. I mean, I'm not sure what else we could prepare. Like,
Sure.
do you want to go get a bunch of holy water real quick? Or...
Oh yeah, what is my money
It's
situation?
worth a try, yeah.
Ooh. Oh. Josh, I think I'm trying to remember. I think I commissioned something from the Spark and Wash. Is that their names?
Spark and Wash, yeah.
Yeah, I think I commissioned for something from them. I don't remember what, or even if it's ready. But I guess I'll go.
I think it was the Face Breakers.
Was it?
I think so, yeah.
I know we browsed magic items since then and then didn't get any. Is that maybe what you're thinking of?
I thought I commissioned something from them as well, but I guess not. But no, you're right. You're right. No, I think it is the Face Breakers. I think you're right.
Yeah, the only thing I can think of is like more research on Mulhorandi stuff in Nefertiti's, but like that's less important than we have the tool we can use in our hands right now. One other thing I think it was like holy water, other things we can use while fighting her. I mean, do we even have a connection to get us holy water? Besides just going to a temple like, hey, let me get some of y'all drink?
We could go talk to Tam. I'm sure we could get holy water from him.
Um,
I'm not sure how much help holy water would be, but I've got to come up blank for other tools or preparations we could get.
Laz would like to see would like to see if he can't find out about if anything has gotten out about anything unusual happening in the museum today.
You check the paper. Nothing in the paper. You could stop by Danny Trench. Danny Trench hasn't heard anything.
No scuttlebutt around amongst the cops around the bar.
No, nothing like that.
What time is it now?
Probably 6 p.m.
How far is the Temple of Ogma?
Let's see. That would be House of Inspired Hands, if I'm not mistaken. Or no, hold on. Wait, would that be? Yeah, the House of Inspired Hands. I mean, like, as the crow flies, probably an hour. With traffic, you're looking more like hour and a half.
Okay. Did the curator give us a way to contact him?
Nope.
Nope, I didn't think so.
Presumably, you guys would have been at the museum in the morning, and he would have just stopped by.
Yeah, which means if we had a way to contact him, he's probably long turned into either a pile of sand or to a death statue.
Oh yeah, he dead.
We really should have left a note.
Welcome.
But it's just like Arrested Development, and this is why he always leave a note.
Okay.
Okay. Well then, guys, I think that's gonna wrap it up for tonight. We'll end with a montage. Several hours before this, back at the museum, probably right around the where was it? Oh, where is it? Hang on. Here we go. Yeah, right around the time the place should have been opening. We see the caretaker, the curator, arriving. He dutifully goes inside, or unlocks the place, heads on inside. Is not heard from for the rest of the day. Probably half an hour after he arrives, 6 members of the Church of Ogma would arrive, ready to help sort through the catalogs and the inventory and the manifests, try to find out what might have been stolen from that break-in the other night when the statue disappeared. They aren't seen for the rest of the day. It's about probably 2 in the afternoon when the first group of the watch, first little watch squad shows up to check on the museum, see if they need anything. They are not heard from for the rest of the day. And 5:45, when a pair of officers come by, just looking for the guys from the precinct who trying to figure out where they've lollygagged off to again, and they disappear inside. And that's session.
I'm so glad that Luxar has already paid for his crime of killing all those people, and that is absolutely not our fault at all.
I'm just glad Red Eye Quinn's dead. How do we get? I gotta figure out before we take out. Oh, that's what I should have done for prep. Is figured out how to get Sledge and the Handyman to both go to the museum before we save.
Nix.
Nix, yeah.
I mean, what we do is once we got her in the ewer, then we just find them, pop her out, let her turn them into sand, then pop her back
Pop her
in.
back in. I like that idea.
I mean, as important as it is to get the whole situation resolved, it is kind of appealing to have just a big old jug where we just open it up, horrific destruction, close it back up.
It's like having Medusa's head in a bag.
Exactly. Except it has its own consciousness and sentience and a big desire to not get back in the thing.
Jolly question.
Yes.
Do you think this is an appropriate moment for Laz to do a wisdom save?
You don't really have any memory of anything that's happened today, so nah.
Okay.
Also, thank you for putting up with our asking for descriptions of the demiplane bit. I think we all needed that little bit of levity after the seriousness of the past couple sessions.
Oh, no, you're fine. No, it's fine.
I recognize some of those things.
Do you now? Huh, interesting.
Oh god, did a spicy DM just happen?
I got all the code names except for the first two things. I missed the
I think I
typing.
actually cheated you guys out of a few things, because I don't think I covered weapons for some of you. Hold on.
I think there were a couple of us in the potion room who didn't.
I got a
either.
minigun,
potion room
a dagger. And
Yeah,
then I
potion
forgot a
room
wig.
wasn't for. Yeah, not everybody would have gotten some for the potion room, because the table for potion room is the same for jewelry, so it's all like both those are on the same chart.
Gotcha.
What did you have, Susan?
I got the minigun and a dagger thing.
Oh, so there's only two. Okay, yeah, I fucked up there. Okay, then hold on here. I'll just, even though your characters don't remember them, let's see. Based on those rolls, lot EB-035, a particularly long, writhing whip made of flesh and muscle with a vicious-looking stinger on one end. It's constantly twitching. And when you walk close to it, it tries to like squirm at you. Lot WS-114, the bronze hilt of a cutlass polished to a mirror sheen that has no blade. And oh man, I can't believe I fucked up with that one. Oh. Lot RL-004, a wickedly sharp-looking dagger, its golden hilt wrapped in thread of black and red.
Ooh.
Yep.
This just means it's gonna be extra awful whenever we give both the Nefarities, Eidolon, and the amulet to Drusilla, and she gets immediately possessed as soon as she's inside this demi plane with all these items.
Well, that would suck.
But it'll also no longer be our problem, because that sounds like some level 20 adventurous stuff that who cares? Force Grey can take care of that. I love giving Josh ideas.
don't give Josh ideas.
More ideas.
Like 2 years from now, we do a Planescape one shot where this all bites us in the ass.
Oh, go check out the overrun magic item storeroom for Thay. Oh, who's the boss of it? Oh no!
Some good say some of your decisions are already biting you in the ass.
King's plan is to just make deals and decisions that will bite him in the ass a little bit in the future, over and over again, until something works out or he's dead.
Fair.
That's what he's been doing for a long time. This will benefit me in the short term. Long term, that's future King's
You
problem.
just gotta
You're
be
not
like
dead
the
yet.
U.S. government. You just gotta keep getting debt to get more debt to get more debt, and you just never pay off the first one. You know.
Which is why I'm not too worried about the whole, oh, if we lose the Alba race, she'll be after us thing. Like, get in line. We'll figure it out.
Just keep borrowing from yourself. You know? You're good.
Laz has fallen into a bit of fatalism at this point. He's convinced he's not meeting a good end no matter what happens. So why not give somebody else claim to fight over his soul?
Honestly, the only way it could, the worst case scenario is somehow our souls get dibs on them by some horrible entity, and at that point we just gotta find a way to not die, like undeath, whatever.
Yeah, I don't think that's gonna work for Laz. Or Laz doesn't think that's gonna work for him.
Just gotta make deals and find ways to not have to pay them, like dying before they're due.
Perfect.
Fair enough.
Oh, it's cute
just
that you think that would work on her.
Oh yeah, with her,
Yeah.
yeah, she'd probably be the one most capable to get a post mortem,
Yeah.
debt paid.
So
I was
I
gonna say,
couldn't.
fair enough. We've made a lot of these deals with people who have pretty advanced magic. They can extract their pound.
Am I the only one who thought of Vivi's sister?
Oh god, you're right. Oh god, you're right.
Son of a bitch! I didn't even. Ugh.
For what?
So like, you think that Drusilla might be part of the reason why her memory is all messed up and gone?
I have no idea, but what I'm thinking is like she has skeleton hands. She's like basically like some undead thing.
I'm sure she's a lich.
I mean, she's probably just like a lich with like a disguise, making so that she has like a human face.
Yeah.
She's really just
She's-
bony underneath.
She's an ambassador from Thay, which means she must be high ranking within the Thay government, which means she's most likely a lich.
Like,
Yeah.
speaking of that last room that had like those
ruler
last
is
set
a lich.
items, I thought those are all phylacteries until we got to the ewer. And I'm even then I'm still not altogether sure that this isn't also a phylactery somehow.
Uh-huh.
Well,
Well, one of them is
very.
very strange if it is a phylactery, given the name that's on it.
I got
Yeah.
the drop, the abomination, the Carillion, and
The Carillion.
how do you spell
The
Carillion?
drop. The
What's
drop
a
is
phylactery again?
the drop is just a lich bard who is really good at
A
dubstep.
phylactery is the item that a lich keeps its soul in.
Oh, I see. Like a Horcrux from.
Yeah.
The drop.
I love Harry Potter.
From the Wizard game. The proposal, the drop, the Carillion, the abomination, and the vessel.
I kind of love the day of a
The
lich
vessel.
named the drop who was a lich bard. It looks like Skrillex.
I do love that. I'm not gonna lie, I do love
That's
that.
hilarious.
He's Netherese Lich Bard, so there can be tons of time magic to explain all of the electronic stuff.
See, when I saw the name, I was like, oh, that's the name of the lich who made this. Is what I thought.
Yeah, I was gonna ask Jolly at the time, but I didn't. Would we have recognized that name? I don't think
Joran
so.
Searhart? Absolutely. There's
Yeah.
no way none of your characters, none of these characters would recognize that name. No.
These.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
Okay. What about other characters we've played in the past?
There is probably one or two characters that some of you have played somewhere down the line who might recognize that name.
Yeah.
This sounds like a Lee and Charlie thing because I don't think there's any Jordan Searhart in the Poda game.
Searhart.
Do you want to tell them or should I?
Go for it.
I mean, if it's a
Share.
spoiler somehow, I mean, don't worry about it.
No, there's no, it's not a spoiler per se.
What is it? What's the answer?
If the person isn't saying, I won't say.
What'd you say? I'm sorry.
They're wondering who Joran Searhart is.
Come on, Ryan, tell us.
Oh.
Oh wait, it's actually you two who knows?
That's definitely a Susan thing.
Yeah.
Oh! I thought it was for sure
You
like
can
a Lee
say
and
it.
Charlie thing, and I was doing a bit.
Oh, it's one of Agony's old owners.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Oh.
Who is definitely not a lich. At
Definitely
least last
not
time.
a
At least
lich.
last time he was seen.
I went down the rabbit hole, assuming it was like a Lee Charlie Josh campaign thing from some game y'all played in the past.
Oh,
or something.
there may be a few references to one of those in here too.
What were those references? Because I missed
yeah.
that.
I like my
think
reference
that-
you gave me.
Oh, you liked the reference I gave you? I thought you would.
Wait, which one?
When I
was
saw that
his?
you rolled that, I was like, "Oh, that's so good. That's perfect."
Wait, what was it?
There's one that I DM'd you, Susan.
Oh.
Yeah, because you didn't say that out loud. But only he understood the words.
Well, yeah, because he's the one who like saw the item and like because he rolled high enough from perception, he was like tried reading them. He's like, "Oh, they're just like it's in a funky font."
Oh.
So
Yeah.
Kyle, I think you were there.
Yeah.
Was I want to
Lee
play
and
that
Shirley,
old
were you
man
guys
wizard?
playing?
Yeah, we were
I don't
all
remember
playing
you.
it.
Oh, we all
I
were?
think, I
I don't
think we
remember.
all played.
I don't think Charlie played that.
It says restore the magic tour 76. Chip in the Dales.
Oh! Oh my god, okay.
That's
From that what game was that? What's
oh.
that game called?
Oh god.
Quiet Year.
Yes.
that was a quiet year, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I wasn't able to play with y'all on that one.
See, I don't know what you guys are talking about. Vivian's totally fine. Look at her. She's so cute.
Aw, see, no skeletal hands, no ice.
Yeah.
We should
She's
play that
very
again, that
squishy
Quiet
and
Year.
cute.
That was fun.
Yeah.
That was fun.
It was
That
good.
was a lot
Yeah.
of fun. I'm still interested in that.
Either play that or the skeletons.
I was
What is the
literally about to
Oh
mention the
yeah,
skeletons.
skeleton.
The skeletons is like it's another map drawing game. But in that it's you are all skeletal guardians standing watch over a tomb. You're adding details to the tomb as time goes by, repelling invaders and slowly learning more about who you used to be in life.
That
Yep.
sounds amazing.
It is amazing.
I want to play that. We should do this. Like, I like that.
Yeah.
Yes.
Charlie, you didn't recognize the
The
dagger?
What was it? I
I
A
recognize
wickedly,
the dagger.
a wickedly sharp-looking dagger. It's golden hilt wrapped in thread of black and red.
Blink, blink.
Is that my dagger?
That's the Orso dagger.
Oh, I wondered that, but you know what was funny, Josh? As much as that dagger was like a big deal, I long ago forgot what the actual description of that dagger was.
Figures.
Even when we were playing the game, I didn't exactly know what the dagger looked like. I just knew it was mine, and he took it from me.
I remember it being very, very well made. But I didn't remember the description until you mentioned
Nice and short.
that you were surprised that of all the things, that was the one you forgot to do, and then started reading it off. And it's like, oh, that's Orso's dagger.
Yeah, I wondered that, but I was like, I don't remember what that dagger actually fucking looked like.
Lee, did you spot the other reference in there?
So
There's actually quite a few.
there's quite a few. I spotted something that was not a specific item, but definitely felt like it came out of a specific campaign.
Oh,
A blue metal staff with a constellation on it feels very, very much like a giant campaign thing. It's
JT-0078.
Mm-hmm. Obviously, the type of sword was wrong, but my eyebrow definitely raised at the description of a sword with a hilt but no blade.
Oh yeah, I thought about that one too.
What's the number reference number on the thing in the big sphere?
Thing in the sphere. Let's see. KS-248.
Gotcha. Okay.
Jolly, I feel like based on your reaction, I clearly missed something.
I'm just wondering if you have any more ideas.
Okay, I'm trying to think what. I might have giant campaign on the brain, but I also felt
You have
like
good
that
reason to.
Fire in the Vial felt very much like
JT-003.
Yeah. I also noticed that they both started with the same letters. like they're from the same plane or something.
Maybe.
So yeah, I half expected to see a horn.
I mean, maybe there is one. You just didn't roll for it.
That's true. That's true.
Honestly, the thing I was expecting was you're talking about Orso's axe.
I'm trying to think.
Also, what the heck is a Carillion?
That's just what it's called.
Oh, it's not like a thing.
It's just the name. It's just a name I came up with.
Sounds like Corellian. That's like the elf god, right?
That Coralon.
Coralon, gotcha.
It makes me think of the Corinthian from Sandman.
Ooh, I was getting those vibes too.
Yeah. But yeah, those were the things that I caught, Jolly. I might have missed some. I might have missed something.
Surely you didn't miss the one thing at the end there.
The one thing.
Say it, Josh. God damn it! I'm tired of all these teasing.
A staff with 4 scythe-like blades on either end. 8 in total.
Oh crap! Oh crap!
I don't know what that. I don't know that one off the top of my head.
Oh crap! How did I miss
shocked.
that?
I'm shocked. I'm disappointed in you, Lee.
Is that one from
I'm
college?
disappointed in me too.
That's a college
yes.
game thing. Yeah.
Oh yeah. Oh. Wow. Yeah, I'm deeply disappointed in me too. It was the 4 on both ends as opposed to 8. I didn't make the connection. Oh no, God! I am the worst. Okay.
Okay. You bet.
I hear a Vivian. We're talking to a Vivian.
Hi. Hi, Vivian.
Hi, Vivian. How are you today?
Hello.
All right.
Hello. Hello.
I'm exhausted. I'm gonna go to bed.
Oh no, she's.
Oh, you're making Vivian sad.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Look what you did.
No, you're not allowed to
Look
go to
what you
bed.
did. You made her sad. Oh. It's her bedtime. Say goodnight, Vivian.
Good night, Vivian.
Good night, Vivian. It's
Good
actually
night,
late
Vivian.
too. I should probably turn
Ow.
in.
Yeah.
Pinched me. bitch.
Vivian, don't assault your mother. Probably. I don't know. Forget. Ignore me. Do what you want. You're a free spirit. You're a modern woman.
She's an angel.
I've seen the look in her eyes. The look that says I'm plotting the downfall of Western civilization, or I just blew up a building,
She does
or I
have
will
that
lead us to
look at all
Mordor.
times.
Or you should. Yeah. Yep. I've seen it too. You look at that picture of Vivian, and you just hear the Russian national anthem in
Yeah.
your head.
Gondor calls for aid.
God, our calls for aid.
All right, gents. I'm gonna sign off.
Yep.
Good
Night,
game.
everybody.
Adios.
Good game.
Night.
Yes, thank you, Josh.
Catch
Later.
Yeah, no problem.
thank you,
Thank
John.
you.
Catch you later.
Bye.
Good
Night.
night.